So today, the reason that we have the two of you on is because obviously COVID-19 is hitting all of us, but it's making itself known in the threat space pretty hard. So, Hef, do you want to talk a little bit about the advanced persistent threats that you're seeing that are maybe more related to this current crisis?
Sure. So first of all, for everyone out there, there's a lot of empathy from the SecurityMetrics side of the house. It's not easy to navigate this space. I mean, you think about you're trying to keep your business up and operational, and at the same time, you're dealing with some crazy, nasty bad guys. And some of these threat actors, we don't know what their motivations are, but we know they're trying to do some bad things. If you look at what's happening in this space, I think there's over 500,000 email messages, phishing messages that have been tracked right now through vendors like Proofpoint and some of these other threat intelligence vendors out there. There's over 300,000 malicious URLs. And we'll talk more about some of this craziness, and these are URLs that the bad guys registered back in February to try to get people to click on. And then there's something like 200,000 malicious attachments right now, Jen, that are just floating around out there. And that's just what we know about with all of these with coronavirus themes. And it's a tough time. And there's no doubt about it. And for folks like Forrest and myself that are on the front lines of this battle, trying to find some of these threats and figure out what's going on and the motivation, and then notifying our merchants and our clients, it's exhausting. I have to tell you, folks, we're absolutely tired. We've got big bags underneath our eyes, trying to figure it all out. So
nice. And I think it's important to talk about some of the things that we do to relax, because one of the reasons why we're seeing successful attacks happen is because when you have, let's talk about phishing. A phishing attack is successful because it preys on people's stresses, right? You see something come in, and it elicits an emotional reaction, and you want to click, and then that lets the bad guys in. So, Hef, do you want to speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, and that's the thing, Jen. It's the sensationalizing of the news right now. It's either sensationalizing the topic with a phishing email to get you to click on it, or spreading misinformation. And those two things, there's bad guys love to prey on these crises, and it's always going to be like this. It's a shame, but it's always going to be like this. But what really kind of breaks your heart is, you have a lot of folks out there that are just not aware that the sensationalizing of the topics around COVID, or spreading this misinformation, or preying on people that are trying to, if you're trying to buy an N95 mask, they have these fake websites that'll get you to click on it, and before you know it, your information's out there and there's no getting it back. So it's tough, because you want to, in your home life, you want to give that sense of normalcy, and you want to prepare and think about getting things back to normal, and it's just tough because of all of the craziness with the phishing emails. Right. And I think that's a good point to start on, is the nuttiness of the phishing, and it's not letting up in any sense of the way, in any sense of imagination.
Thanks for watching. To watch more episodes of SecurityMetrics Podcast, click on the box on the left. If you prefer to listen to this podcast, it's available on all your favorite podcast platforms. See you on the slopes.